Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell down so the Ghost the 13-month series doesn't get you and you can stay notified. What's going up? What's going on, people? Happy holidays and all that. And I thought, you know what? I have a problem, all right? I'll be honest. Like, I don't like having free time. I have free time. I don't know what to do with it. Once I'm like going out and I have an activity plan, I will find a way to work out. So I said, you know what? Let me just pre-record or record you guys something that could premiere in the same similar vein and style of what I do on a Tuesday, though it'll come out on a Wednesday because I forgot to put out Tower of God on the Sunday because it was Christmas Eve and Christmas stuff, so I wasn't thinking about it like that. But hope everyone is well. Hope y'all doing good. Let's talk about this chapter. A lot of Rachel in here. A lot of Rachel, and I've always said this, and I don't apologize for it. I think Tower of God is usually at its best when Rachel is involved in the narrative. I think Rachel adds this other dynamic and emotional irrationality in the fandom that I get a genuine kick out of because people hate her. And I'm not saying they shouldn't. I've been doing this long enough to like the hatred it dissipates on some Hwaryun song versus Machete. When Machete told you about the hate, well, I think one of them talked about the hatred doesn't really go away. The other one had the opposite opinion, but it's like I used to really not like Rachel. Like, trust me. I'll never forget, like, I was real life angry. Like, I was in the world, I was in class, I was at school, and I'm like, why did she push the man? Like, why did she do that? And remember, at this point, I'm kind of reading weekly because I cut up during the last examination in the first season and back in like 2010. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't get it. But yeah, man. And then when she came back during the Hell Train, and then she held the information over Bam and Dorsey's. Rack had one job: keep her in place. Didn't work, but like, I really do think Rachel's a good character. I have made the argument that she is one of SIU's better written characters. But if you're anti-Rachel Task Force art, shout to Sun Woo. I get it, but I need the intrigue. I need the monkey wrench thrown into everything. So turns out that yeah, she's looking for Enkidu. So Hwaryun actually led her to the, you know what? Let me put Rachel on the back burner for just a little bit. So just for a second, bear with me for a second. Let's start with the boring stuff, the chess game. No, I'm kidding. But we kind of started the game. So all of those navigators, crossroad, lampposts, or whatever, everyone got their chess piece. Everyone got sent to a random place in the new sprout. So like, the new sprout looked like a bunch of vines kind of just contorting around each other, like almost like when a new plant's kind of growing, but it's pretty big, and I guess there's like an interior part to it, so it's probably like a lot bigger than it really seems on the outside. So they're gonna be running around in there. Now you can apparently you can spam the teleporters and it might randomly take you where you want to go, which is interesting. And Dumas is not actually Gustang's piece, I don't think. So my understanding is that he's a chess piece hunter. So he can hunt other chess pieces. And I think if you can either kill the person or I think it was either steal or destroy their chess piece. And that's how you remove them from the chessboard. It's looking like it's going to be one person represents any piece that has more than one. So I don't think there's going to be like multiple pawns. One person would be the pawn, and I guess if they lose, you're going to play the chess game with not a single pawn. If I represent the knight, I got the horse, let's say, I know they're represented with different sea creatures in Tower of God. Let's say I got the horse, I would be representing both knight pieces from what I can understand. It'd be interesting though if like maybe you're like two lives. Like if I was a knight and I got two pieces, so it's like maybe if you kill me, I'm eliminated no matter what. But like if you only broke one piece, I could still show up as like one knight. I don't know, but like just something I thought about on the spot. But so we were right about Bam. He has the queen. He got the queen piece. We all saw that coming. And I think most of us made that correlation because we thought it might be a little too obvious if he was the king. Like that would kind of make things a little boring because he honestly, in my opinion, has the most capabilities and abilities to deal with all people chasing him and whatnot. I've already seen him taking a wolf, be a branch leader, if you will, of the wolf branch out to El Baba and whatnot. So I'm not afraid of like the other Lopobia. If anything, it's really Traumerei if he can really interfere, and I guess Dumas. But I still hold my opinion and thought that if Bam has to fight Dumas at full power, he ain't winning. Like Dumas isn't winning. Like Bam at full power can beat Dumas, but as Bam is currently right now, not in his like enraged mode or whatever, or converging all his powers, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough, unless the handicap is that you know what I just thought about? I don't know because I think that Hodgin. Someone made a good point because I said because some people were saying that it looks to them that Hodgin sung. Not Hodgin sung. Oh my god, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. Karaka and Dumas's armors don't work the same. Where people were saying Karaka is more like a living armor, and Dumas is kind of like a husk. It seemed that way with the way he got pierced. So I'm guessing you guys were kind of. I was thinking kind of Alphonse from Full Metal Alchemist in my brain, but someone reminded me that Hodgin Sung said their armors kind of function the same. So that might not be the truth, and that might not be the case. So they might be similar in that aspect. So, I know Karaka's maybe literal powers and power sets are different. So maybe in conjunction with this armor, that's why things look differently. He doesn't fight like Dumas with the steel tree and the spells and all that. I don't know, but infinite past lives, world of darkness type beat. Whereas Dumas fought like a carrier and certain weapons and stuff. That being said, he has no arms. That's what I was building up to. Sorry that took so long. He has no arms right now. Poison Dragon Vanquish that Traumerei used was able to melt his arms. Is that Bam's handicap? What do you guys think? Like, oh, you got to fight Dumas, but Dumas can't use his carrier maybe the same way he can because he can only use his feet and his body and his head. Unless his arms can recover. I don't know. He might just piccolo it and then comes back out. But something I thought about. But yeah, Bam's the queen. And I think we both. I thought it because it was like the second most important piece in a way, but it's the most powerful piece. The queen is like the piece with like the most mobility and can move in any direction as far as the board can go. So I'm like, that's Bam. That makes sense to me. Who do you guys think the king is now? It seems that Rachel is probably not a part of this game, so the Rachel theory might be thrown out. Maybe still think it's Rachel. I don't know. Maybe when she comes back, or Gustang says here, those are the king piece and teleports her to the sprout or something. I have no idea. However, I don't think it's her. Someone on Twitter told me it could be Rack or Guerrero. That's not bad. I don't know if that's interesting though. I think Guerrero's probably still the most interesting one. You know, you give it to Tiara, the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I won't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that. But okay. So yeah, like the games are gonna begin. I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else really to say. We don't know anyone else's chess pieces like that. And at this point, we transition into Hwaryun saying ignite the light of the lighthouse. They can see a door and then just like a lock and a key that won't open unless you are worthy. Then she just says the Shinwan Ryu, right? And then she opens her lighthouse and takes out the Fitbit thing that Gustang. I did this like what the hell was I doing? My sleeves, I'll fix it later before I leave. But yeah. Goddamn the door. So she put out the Fitbit and opened the door, walked in, and then we saw Enkidu in like jello. It looks like jello, gelatin, some flubber like substance. I don't think he's like sealed in a sense where he's like asleep and stuff. He's not on some Inuyasha arrow to his chest, I'm asleep. He's just locked in here. So as soon as they walk in, his eyes open. And apparently he starts to scream really, 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 really loudly to the point that Rachel's ears can't really take it, though everyone else seems to be whatever. Starts explaining what Enkidu is and that Traumerei tried to turn it into a human and now it hates the Lopobia family head more than anything. And then Rachel's like, how do I stop it from crying? And Hwaryun's like, yo, you worthy, right? You open the door. Figure that shit out. Fuck around with you. Don't talk to me. Like, yo, straight dogging her, like, you're worthy. You opened the door, didn't you? Got the Shinwan, you got the bracelet. Go flex. Go figure that out. And I'm like, wow. Good. Good for her. Then Rachel gonna act like she can fight. This is hilarious to me because I'm like, you can't fight. And then she's like, don't Don't underestimate me. I'm not the same Rachel from before. I'm gonna blah blah blah. I'll prove it. And starts screaming. She puts her hand out using the Fitbit that Gustang, I guess, let her borrow or whatever. Breaks some type of barrier and stops screaming for a bit. Then Enkidu starts to like evolve with the gelatin and starts to attack everyone everywhere. Yura has to come and save her. The other guy who punched Hwaryun in his kufi has to come and save her as well, or like help try to hold it back or whatever. And I'm like, here's the thing. I don't know if Enkidu's at full power, or if that Jello's thing is his real body, or it's like it's cut up into pieces, or maybe because it just reawoken, it's not a full power. But for something that Traumerei didn't want to remember, and Gustang is like, oh, I'll fight it, whoop-de-whoop. I don't think these guys should be able to contest with a beast that powerful, that potent. Like, they should have got washed easily, but you know how these stories be sometimes. So, yeah. And my favorite part of the chapter, absolutely god tier. Yo, why are you left them niggas in there? Yo. She said you might have to be worthy to open the door, but anyone can leave. And she locked them bozos in there. And I said, see, this is why you'll always be top one. She's not my top one, but she top one, but she's not my top one, but she top one, but she's not my top one, but she top one, but she's not my top one. But yeah, like I rated it. And then when they're out there, you learn that her and Gustang might have probably had some type of conversation. He said, as expected, you came alone, Red Witch. Has the thing woken up? And he's like, that's a rake. That's what you wanted. That's why you gave her fake powers and asked me to guide her here. All the members that went with her are unsuitable hosts as well. It's just as you thought, too. She has a qualification. It's simple that she just can handle the weight of the qualification. I've done my job, so I'm leaving. So, Gustang played Rachel. Gustang also breaks Hwaryun's handcuffs. So I guess Hwaryun is free to go where she's going to go. So he'll probably go back to Bam. And then after, Gustang was still like, yo, I want to hear something from Enkidu. So it'd be nice to talk first. But if my words don't get through, then I'll have to fight. Then he burns through the whole, like, seal and barrier, saves Rachel with the fire and stuff, and then he's just there, swagging out in this coat and his scarf, looking fire, with fire around him. And he said it's been a while, and Kidu, and the chapter ends like that. So we'll see what Gustang's cooking up. What is he planning? What is it that he wants to do? But I found it interesting that I'm not like Rachel did mention in one of the translations, I'm the one running this war. So I'm wondering if her and Bellarir have been talking even more than I anticipated, but I don't think she's in control here the way she thinks she. I think she's being a little arrogant. She also even said something of the sort like, and I'll show the 10 great families. I wonder where that came from. I don't recall Rachel ever having particularly any interest in showing them or being a part of them or beating them or anything. Like, Rachel wants to see the stars, and that's it. Like, that's the extent of my understanding of her general motivations or her end goals being tied to seeing the night sky and the starry sky. So we're gonna have to see with all of that. But I didn't dislike the chapter. Again, I think Tower God is like, I think the day that SIU kind of fumbles Rachel's involvement will be a really, really bad day for the story, because I think it's at its best when she's around, because she could still throw some crazy twist or loop into this whole equation that none of us are seeing coming or will see coming. So I am excited for that. Like, truly I am. But definitely want to know what you guys think about the chapter. What you thought about Rachel? Are you moved by some of her statements? Oh, I'm different. I'm not the same one as before. I've been here on the Ark of Knowledge, whatever mothership for a minute. Like, I don't know. I'm not impressed by what I saw, really. You just had the Apple Watch on your wrist, and Gustang gave you like fake powers with it. But what's cool is that this is another confirmation that Rachel is like an irregular. But like, so like the idea that she could open the door isn't crazy because she's from the outside. But for some reason, out of any irregular that we've seen, she doesn't seem to hold their latent potential for incredible growth and have like just like that hidden talent to become a monster. Like, Rachel sucks. Like, she might as well be born in the tower, and I would even argue people in the tower have shown more talent than she does. So when she said she had the qualifications, but she couldn't handle the weight of those qualifications. And I think the other one said she could open it, but she couldn't handle the whatever. Made sense to me. Like Bam could go in there, open it, and probably handle Enkidu, especially since he handled, I almost said Traumerei, Leviathan. And I wonder if Leviathan and Enkidu have some type of connection, some type of, like they know each other, and their hatred is shared because of the same reason with Traumerei. That all remains to be seen. Now, I got to ask you guys a question that I always ask you guys, and that one of them being, what was your favorite panel in this chapter? If you have one, definitely share that with me in the chat in the side, or share that with me in the comment section below. For me, it's Gustang saying it's been a while. He's like looking down, like that panel's clean, but the one where he like breaks through is like a really long vertical one, where he's standing there on fire, and then Kidu is like in his like gelatin body on some Avatar Aang in the North Pole, manipulating the spirit water thing. And it looks like Enkidu's head might have turned around in the gelatin, in the the jello, and looking up at him. So we'll see if he has hatred for Gustang too. As far as pieces of dialogue, I think it was even if qualifications are needed to open any door, you don't need any qualifications to close it, because she left their ass in there. That stuff was hilarious. But what part did you guys like more? The chess game stuff, explanation, or the stuff with Rachel, Hwaryun, Urek, and Gustang and Kidu? Let me know what you guys thought about that. But yeah, I'm gonna go with a solid 7 out of 10, 7.4 at its highest, but like a 7 out of 10 for the week. I don't have any complaints. It was fine. Like, it was cool. We'll see what they build up later after this chapter ends. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I feel like there's something else I wanted to say about the chess game that's not coming to me. I'm not sure. And did it say that this was taking place just a little bit before? I think it did. So I have to check something. I don't remember if before the game begins, the great match field inside the Sprout. Rachel's already inside. Okay, I'm kind of slow. She's already in there. So all those vine stuff around her, because they already entered. Okay, so Bam and them are probably now appearing around the outside, making their way in here. So I wonder if they'll run into each other naturally. That'd be kind of crazy, all things considered. What y'all think? And how does this next reunion, if you will, go? And will Bam finally not look like a bozo? Is he getting a third push? A push off the Sprout? Even though he can fly now. He just falls. I don't know. It could be funny, but all right. Let me stop rambling. Don't ever say I don't love y'all. All right. I still made the time to make some content for you, because the other videos I should have already thought of my Patreon, all things considered. But the other videos, they're like Website of the Year, Tower God in 2023, Kuber in 2023, and then the last one that I'm not going to spoil here are already done and recorded. I should like post them on Patreon and put them on private. I just haven't done it yet. I actually have to do that soon. I'll probably do that when I get back in later today. But y'all be safe. Nye Hemmings out. Oh, I remember. It was related to the Lopabia family, the chess pieces. Okay, so you know how remember how I brought up the proposition? They call me Proposition Naya. Shout out to the wire. Gururo becomes the king on Bam's side, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. And Traumerei tries to take him out, so Gustang has no king, so he doesn't have to even engage in the chess match. And his family sees that, and as a result of that, kind of turn on him or don't want to be in the game. I want you guys to let me know if you still think that's something that could possibly take place or possibly happen. Because I think that's probably the second most interesting outcome. Rachel was the first, but I think Rachel's not a part of the game. I don't know, though. Gustang could throw her in there and just be like, here. I don't think Yura and them will be involved, but let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to shut up now. Y'all be safe. I'm Nye Hemmings out. Enjoy the premiere. Bonjour and merci, Patreon. Thank you guys for your continued support. Shout out to the Certified Bam Lover, CBL Nation, Lil Bam, James. That's the guy. That's the real Slayer. Then we got The Priest of Fire, I really appreciate y'all. Thank you for your continued support. But they might be the real CBL certified brothers, lovers. And a huge, huge shout out to the tier 3s, the 5th Zen Gods. A huge thanks to Big Abdel, Andrew, Childish Nujabes, Fairs, Huey, Johnny Rogers, Lazy Dragon, Lucky Roo, Naz Riley, Revenant, Scobe, Simi, Ticos, Tino Brown, Urek Mazino, Zachary Cooper, Zodiac Namiko, and Zyler Scotty. Your support is greatly appreciated. I had some clean, sugary mud the other day. We moving on up. Thank you for helping me eat and pay my bills. Y'all be safe.